I'm Magic Turtle 643, your source of magical turtle 643 days out of the year, and this is The Orange Show. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately, including the now famous Welcome to Night Vale. I just said now famous, as if I liked it before it was mainstream. I didn't. That was like a hipster mistake. I didn't even know Welcome to Night Vale existed until the almighty Glow Cloud implanted the knowledge of the show in my brain. All hail the Glow Cloud. But ever since I've been sort of blown away by the concept of Welcome to Night Vale and the way that it sort of revolutionizes storytelling. Granted, it's not the first fictitious radio show that's gained national attention. Like when Orson Welles convinced the world that aliens were invading, or Rush Limbaugh convinced the world that people like him actually exist. But Night Vale is the first show to tell a story in the way that it does. For those of you who don't know, Welcome to Night Vale is a podcast narrated by a deep-voiced gent named Cecil, who is a radio talk show host for a surreal, supernatural town of nightmares. He reports on the terrifying and darkly hilarious goings-on of this desert city. And after posting way too many quotes from the show as my Facebook status, I started wondering what other ways there are to tell a story that nobody has ever tapped into. Fiction is such a big part of our lives, even if it is, by definition, the one thing that isn't technically a part of anyone's real life. But in some ways, characters in places like Cecil and Night Vale do really exist. And that's even more true for characters that everybody's heard of, like Harry Potter and Sherlock Holmes or Snooki. What do you mean she's a real person? I thought she was the mascot for the New Jersey Manatees. But don't look here for answers about whether or not fiction really exists. Check out PBS Idea Channel's video instead. This video is about new forms of fiction, because now I've sort of become obsessed with finding a new format of fiction, or inventing a new genre, or boldly creating something using a medium that no man has used before to seek out fake life and civilization. These are the voyages of this video, what I'm talking about right now. Anybody remember Star Trek? I do. Shut up, nerd. But this is your voice. I'm you. Exactly. Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek is another huge cultural character. You see, if you type his name into Google, you can see that Patrick Stewart has basically become synonymous with the character, which almost means that Picard actually exists. Just like how Magic Turtle 643 is synonymous with Idiot Ginger. Hey, so if characters like Picard and Sherlock exist up here in this sort of abstract, brainy area, that means that their stories can take on an infinite amount of forms. Fanfic, comics, poems, you name it. But what else? And what sort of new characters can we create in an abstract, brainy realm that nobody's ever heard of before? What film genres haven't been invented yet? How about the music-mentary? It's a documentary, but everything is sung and set to music. Or the romantic crimedy. It's a rom-com murder mystery caper movie. What about, like, a serious new genre? Like a movie where the dialogue is set to verse, like in old Shakespearean plays. I bet everybody would hate that. But I bet Patrick Stewart would do it. Actually, I think somebody already did that with the Godfather films. Ooh, everything's been done before. It's all been done. Woo-hoo-hoo. Bare Naked Ladies, anybody? No? Just me in high school? Okay. What about telling a story purely through sound effects and smells? You hear footsteps. Then you smell gasoline. Then you hear a bus pulling up. Then you smell urine, because the main character had to sit next to a homeless guy on the bus. I shouldn't make jokes about homeless people. Hobo jokes have no place here. They should just move along, get a job or something. If I give them any airtime, they'll probably just spend it on booze. What if you could tell a story using tea leaves? Kinda looks like me, getting stabbed in the eye with a needle. I guess it's supposed to be fiction, though, so I'm not going to worry about canceling my acupuncture appointment. The Orange Notebook of All-Knowing Knowledgeness has a brand new form of fiction for me. It just says cheese. I don't, what do you, like, writing on a block of cheese? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, here's the right page, okay. Cheese story. What is a cheese, what is it? I need a new notebook. You know, YouTube was kind of a pioneer of new fiction when people started telling stories via video blog. And it was strangely early in YouTube's lifespan that people like Lonely Girl 15 started pretending to be somebody else. You barely see fake YouTube personas anymore. I feel like only after we got bored of vlogs and Let's Plays should we have started to see characters show up like Dax Flame or Fred or PewDiePie. What do you mean PewDiePie's a real person? I thought he was a mascot for some Swedish cricket team. What about you guys? Can you think of any new or at least clever forms of storytelling? If so, write your ideas in the comments below, and maybe, if they're good enough, I'll even try to write a story using one of the methods. And if it doesn't totally suck, I'll share it with you. And now, for the final What Am I Working On portion of the show, you guessed it, I'm still doing the Spin Tune Songwriting Contest. So here's a clip of the song I submitted for round 3.
No, nothing's gotten cloudy in my mind, and I'ma stick to the facts that you find. You gotta keep.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you got a story to tell, it's in your heart, soul. When you spout words into people's ears, they'll be like, yeah.